Minecraft is a very old game.
Oh my god!
And because of that, we've had lots of... okay, I hate this. Let's just go. All killer, no filler. Let's get into it. Like all great stories, we start with the beginning, or something. 1.0 was a very, very good update at, like, the minimum. So basically, this is just, like, the official release of Minecraft and, went from beta or whatever to this game. So this is Adventure Update Part 2, essentially. And it was, interesting. Very interesting. They added, a couple important things, not too major, but a couple important things, like the literal ending of the game, an entire new dimension, a bunch of new structures, 2 key components, which are enchanting and brewing, and, a long list of other, but, not really that important stuff, to be honest, but, there was a lot, so, at the very least, I should put this in, perfect tier. So yeah, there we go. That's it. Done. Let's keep going. Alright, next we got 1.1, and compared to 1.0, this update was absolute dog water. But I'm not going to say it's dog water, because it's really not that bad. Mostly because it doesn't include anything aggravatingly insulting. Don't worry, we'll get to updates like that very soon here. Instead, they just added some language options and spawn eggs, which I like spawn eggs. Like, literally, that would be my favorite item in Minecraft when I was, 6 years old, because I would just spawn a bunch of stuff and make stuff fight each other. So, I'm glad they're there. It's better than spawning and stuff by commands, but, it's not enough to change the game, if you know what I mean. And the other update was really just the language options, which, just learn English. It's not that hard. So yeah, overall, not very, not very impressed. Mediocre. Then we move on to 1.2, which just brings us along this road of just not as great updates as 1.0. Like, we just went down a roller coaster. And 1.2 was better, I'll say that. The jungle biome is really sick, and I like it a lot, and it's my second favorite biome, so, that's nice, but, they didn't really do anything with it. At the time, I'm pretty sure there was, no animals in it except the ocelot. There's literally nothing you can do there. There wasn't even jungle temples. You just kind of, walked around it, and it was like, hey, it's nice, it exists, but, what are you supposed to do with this? And pretty much that's the extent of what they added. They might have added something else, but guess what? I'm too lazy to research it. So, yeah, moving on. Average tier. Now we go on to 1.3. The Emerald update. That's not actually called that. I forgot what it's called. I don't even think it has a name, but whatever. Now 1.3 was better. Once again, it was a step up. It was a step in the right direction. But it wasn't really my cup of tea either. Now, it did introduce villager trading, which is important. That's probably the best addition. And then it also had desert temples, which are pretty nice, and then jungle temples, which literally nobody finds, so what's the point? So, it's a big mixed bag of just okay and good. So yeah, that's about it. It's one of the better ones, but it's still average. Now we move into 1.4. Now this update, I didn't really see the point of it at first, but you know what? I actually came around to liking it a little bit, because it's actually not that bad, and I think it's actually pretty good if you do say so myself. Now, the Wither was obviously the biggest addition of this update, and it was pretty cool to get another boss, especially one where you can just kind of spawn it in yourself. It was a really neat concept, and it was very, very strong, which added a little bit of depth to the game. And also just some after-game stuff. And honestly, the entire update, I like to call the after-game update, not really the spooky update, or whatever they call it, because, to be honest, it wasn't really that spooky. Because a lot of the features added in this update kind of just had to do with stuff that you would do after you finish beating the game. So this gave you a little bit more to do, which I appreciate. And that's why I think it's a pretty solid update. So I'm actually going to put it up here in the great tier. Now we move on to 1.5, the Redstone update that I know all about, because it added, redstone stuff that I totally know what they are. But, in all seriousness, as serious as this video could possibly get, the 1.5 update was actually pretty neat, and even though I don't know half of the stuff that's going on here, because redstone, who learns that stuff? it was a respectable update because of that. So I think it's a great tier. I still like Redstone. I don't use it a lot, but I like it, and it's an important update, and I don't want to offend people, so it's going in great tier. Next, 1.6. So a lot of people like Minecraft at this time. It's probably like the height of the popularity. But the update was certainly not the reason, because this update is trash. Okay, it's not that bad, but I don't like it at all. Like, who rides horses?
What the dog doing?
Like, point to anyone except your younger sister that likes horses. Nobody likes horses. Okay, just throw them out of the picture. I hate them. And I add some other stuff like hay bales, which is better than horses, but no, it's still not good. And like overall, just a bunch of junk and that we never needed except carpets. Those are cool. Literally just a useless update. Don't like it at all. Mediocre. Not trash, but mediocre. Now we move into the first monumentous update since 1.0. 1.7. A lot of people will just say this update is okay. Like, it added cool biomes and whatnot, but that's about it. But this update is the GOAT, okay? Because you gotta think about it. It adds dark oaks. That is literally the best biome in tree wood in the entire game. Undisputed. Savannas, which are, severely need to be updated, but they're still cool, or at least for the time. And a bunch of other biomes that I can't remember off the top. Oh yeah, Mesa, but those are cool too. So like, there's just so much cool stuff. So I mean, how could you not love this update? It's going an amazing tier. No one can stop me. Now we move on to 1.8. Now this is where I began to play Minecraft, so I started to get a little bit of my own personal taste. And at the time, I didn't really know a lot about Minecraft. I didn't even know they were, like, official updates. So I was just kind of playing, and I was like, yeah, this is alright. It's a really cool game. But I didn't really pay attention to the updates, and it was a weird string of events. So there was some stuff that I liked and some stuff that I didn't. So obviously, this was the last update before, that one update that everybody hates came around. So a lot of people like it because of that. But me personally, I don't fight things, so I don't really understand the change that came from this update to the next. So instead, I'm just ranking it on all the other stuff, which would be these three beautiful blocks right here, which... No. I'll get those out of my sight. Instead, we got Prismarine, the most glorious block of all time. I cannot tell you how much I love Prismarine. Prismarine Brick and Dark Prismarine and more in general. But, oh my god, they're just beautiful. Look at that. Look at all the blue. The luscious blue. Oh my god, it's perfect. I love it so much. So, because of that, it gets a pass, even though it added, like, nothing at all. I mean, there's Ocean Temples, which are cool, but it was a pretty lackluster update, in my opinion. But I'm still putting it in great, because Prismarine. I need help. Next, we got 1.9. 1.9 is an update that people don't like at all. But guess what? I'm here to tell you 1.9 is so freaking good.
What did he say?
Oh my god, shields actually are my lifesaver. Like, if shields was a person, I would marry them. Like, shields, oh my god, I think I don't even think I could do anything in Minecraft without shields nowadays. Like, they are the bomb, okay, as the cool kids would say. So, just absolutely, right there, immediately, at least average tier. But then on top of that, you got the cool Elytra things and the end cities. Like, how could you not love this? They finally expanded the end and made it something interesting other than just what it was, which was nothing before. It was just the moon. But now you got multiple moons and you can run around the moons. Like, it was perfect. It was exactly what they needed to add. It was wonderful. And there was no other reason... There's absolutely no reason to hate it at all. There was nothing else in this update that changed anything in the game or any of the mechanics that would make everyone hate it. There's absolutely nothing. And then we all come to 1.10. All the great updates combined, all of them have been leading to this wonderful number here. And what amazing thing could Mojang have in store for us? Oh dear God. Trash tier, no explanation required. 1.11. Now 1.11 next to 1.10 is a godsend, but even with that it's not that great. I think this one gets a lot of hate, which I don't really understand why. I mean, shulker boxes are great, woodland mansions are great. It just didn't add a lot, and I see that. But the stuff they added was pretty good, and I like llamas too, so there's no reason to hate it. No reason to love it, but no reason to hate it. So it's going average tier for me. And then we kind of just continue with this weird string of pretty average updates. 1.12 was pretty much the lowest point of Minecraft. Literally nobody was online at this point. Like, it was very rare to find anyone playing except me. I was still there, but nobody cares about me, so it doesn't really matter. 1.12 in itself, though, is inherently not a bad update. I mean, it added a lot of colors and a lot of things that we needed, and concrete is nice. It just is. Just leave me alone, okay? And you got bed colors and other stuff that were colored that I can't think of off the top of my head. It was just a solid update. Added a little bit of color into the world, even though it's just not really enough to call it a real update, but it's an average tier for me. Now, at this point, everyone's kind of losing faith in Mojang. Even I did, even though I had no idea what was going on, because I couldn't play Minecraft like an idiot. But I knew something whenever I saw something great. That made no sense, what I just said, but that's okay. 1.13 is just exactly what we needed, and just such a freaking good update on its own. I didn't even think Microsoft could do it, but they did it, and it was wonderful. Just all the beautiful things to see, just completely brought it to life. I mean, a lot of people say there wasn't enough, but honestly, compared to what there was before this, it is insane how much they did to it. Like, so many new mobs, so many, just everything, so much new stuff, and it was just perfect. And also there was the other flying thing that everyone loves too, so that was nice as well. Just a beautiful, wonderful, perfect update in every single regard. 1.14, or the villager update or something, is just, I'm not even going to build it up. I just gotta say, this is an amazing update. What the actual heck? I love this update. This was just the perfect time to be playing Minecraft. It's just wonderful, and there's just no reason not to love this thing. It's just fantastic. You got villager jobs now, or I guess you had that before, but better villager jobs. You got costumes now. Like, everybody's got something to do. The villages look great. There's new ways to get everything. The game is so much better now. Oh my god, I just love it. It's going perfect here. Not as good as the other update that's also pretty okay, but yeah, I mean, it's so freaking good. Oh my god. Now we get to 1.15, where everyone says the game just fell into a hole again, which I would agree as well, but I don't think it's bad either. 1.15 is just an update for bugs, basically. Oh wait, I get it. Oh my god, a bee is a bug. Bug equals bug. Oh my god, that's crazy. Mojang is so crazy. Oh my god, you guys. Yeah, so 1.15 is, not great, but it's not bad either. I get it, but I don't care. Mediocre. We're closing near the end, where we get to 1.16. Now, I do think 1.16 is a tad bit overrated. Listen, hear me out. It added a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's perfect tier, in my opinion. It didn't completely change the game. It just changed the nether in an okay way. And I think they did a pretty good job, And, I mean, there's new stuff to do. Bastions, nether fortresses are even harder to find, even though they were pretty hard to find in the first place. So now you have to go millions of blocks just to beat the game. How wonderful. But aside from that, it's a really solid update. I don't like new netherrack, by the way. Fight me, but old netherrack looks so much better. I know. Just I don't care. Just come at me. I'll be ready. So yeah, it's still going in great tier, but it's not amazing or perfect. Now we get to 1.17. Oh boy. Now I consider this to be the better version of 1.18? Question mark. It added all the blocks from 1.18, but didn't really integrate it into the world, which is neat. But at the same time, that means there wasn't really a lot going on. It was just kind of a bunch of random stuff. And you know what? That's okay. okay. It's alright. It kind of just added a bunch of random blocks and then just was like, hey, you can only get these in creative, but, that's okay. I respect it, okay? I respect it. So it's going in an average tier. Now we've made it. Probably the most controversial update of all time. 1.18. My god, this one's a hard one, okay? Everything about this update was monumentous. The caves changed so much. They're massive now. You have way more layers of everything, more resources, more things to find, more mobs. A huge, enormous mountain. Just so many enormous mountains. So many new biomes. Just so much more to do. But yet, it doesn't feel like Minecraft, and that's what really hurts here. And so, for that reason alone, great tier. I know I've dissed on this update so many times in the past, but it's still probably one of the best of all time. It just hurts to see how just terribly it shades the game, and how we'll never go back to the way it was just because of this update. It's still a really good one, but I just can't. I can't. And now we've made it to the very end, 1.19, the wild or mild update, depending on who you ask. Personally, I think this one gets a little bit too much hate. I actually think it's pretty good. The Ancient City stuff was really, really neat. And to be honest, the macro stuff was okay too. I didn't hate it. I like the new wood. I like frogs. Everything's nice. It's not crazy, but it's nice. And then again, the Ancient City and Warren stuff was just epic. So it's wonderful, except the fact that he can just murder you by just swinging his arms, which is it should not be that way, but whatever. So that's about it. And yeah, average tier. And there we go. I think we made it. There's definitely not a single update that we missed whatsoever. Huh? What's that? There's one more? Oh, dear God.